All right, let's dive straight into this explainer. When you hear the name Cristiano Ronaldo, you probably instantly picture roaring stadiums, right? Iconic celebrations, a massive wall of gleaming trophies. He is undeniably one of the most famous, most successful footballers on the planet. But if you think his story is just about being born with a ball at his feet and having immense natural talent, well, you're missing the biggest piece of the puzzle. What we're exploring today is an absolute masterclass in extreme hard work, unparalleled discipline, and a mindset that literally refuses to fail. 967. Think about that number for a second. As of April 2026, that is his staggering senior career goal count for club and country. He's practically knocking on the door of 1,000 professional goals. It's a statistical marvel, really. But to truly understand how he reached this superhuman peak, we've got to ask ourselves, do you know where his real fight actually started? Because I'll tell you what, it wasn't under the bright lights of a giant European stadium. Section 1. Childhood and Struggle. The Roots of a Legend. Today, Ronaldo is a billionaire global icon. But his reality? It began in a poor, tin-roofed house overlooking the Atlantic Ocean in Madeira. Space was a massive luxury. He shared a single, cramped room with his brother and 2 sisters. His mother worked tirelessly as a cook and a cleaner, just to keep everyone fed, while his dad worked as a municipal gardener and a part-time kit man for a local football club. On top of that, his father struggled heavily with alcoholism, a trauma from his time as a soldier in the Angolan War. This really precarious financial and emotional environment, that is exactly what forged a fierce, almost obsessive determination in young Cristiano. He became so passionate about football that he'd dedicate way more time to the sport than to school. But, financial struggles weren't the only hurdle he faced. At just 15 years old, a terrifying medical diagnosis almost completely destroyed his dreams before they even took off. He was diagnosed with a condition called tachycardia, a racing, irregular heart rate that posed an absolute existential threat to his athletic ambitions. Without treatment, his career was over, done. He had to undergo a sophisticated laser heart surgery to cauterize multiple cardiac pathways into one. But here is where you really see that unbelievable grit. He was discharged from the hospital mere hours after the procedure, and he was actually back training on the pitch just a few days later. His passion for the game was literally stronger than his heart condition. This, right here, this was where his real fight started. Section 2. Rise to Global Stardom. The Ascent of CR7. Starting out at the Sporting CP Youth Academy in 1997, he quickly proved he was an absolute phenomenon. By 2003, he makes the massive leap to Manchester United, where he develops into a global superstar. Then comes the world record move to Real Madrid in 2009, followed by a dominant stint at Juventus starting in 2018, an emotional return to Man United in 2021, and finally, revolutionizing football in the Middle East with Al Nassr in 2023. But let's rewind a bit to August 6, 2003. This was the match that changed history. Sporting CP was playing a friendly against the mighty Manchester United. A young, 18-year-old Ronaldo completely dazzled the United players with his relentless pace and footwork. He was so dominant, so electric, that the senior United players actually urged their legendary manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him immediately, like before they even left Lisbon. And within days, the deal was done. This was the exact moment Ronaldo stepped onto the global stage. However, the Ronaldo that arrived at Old Trafford wasn't exactly the finished product. Early on, he was a tricky winger. He was known for showboating, excessive stepovers, and always hunting for that flashy, perfect 25-yard goal. But under the guidance of United's coaching staff, particularly Rene Meulensteen, he underwent a massive transformation. He built up this muscular physique to charge right through defenders rather than just weaving around them. They used zone-based penalty area training to teach him the incredible value of simple, efficient finishes. He transformed from a flashy entertainer into a ruthless, clinical goal-scoring machine. Section 3. Real Madrid's Golden Era, Reaching the Zenith. 450. In just 438 appearances for Real Madrid, he scored an astonishing 450 goals. He averaged more than a goal a game for nearly a decade. That is just absurd. He became the club's all-time leading goalscorer, spearheading their pursuit of La Decima, their historic 10th European Cup, and leading them to an unbelievable 3 consecutive Champions League titles under Zinedine Zidane. Now, you absolutely cannot talk about his time at Real Madrid without mentioning the epic rivalry that defined a whole generation of football. The statistical duel between Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi is legendary. Messi brings this unmatched natural fluidity to the game, claiming 8 Ballon d'Or awards and 129 Champions League goals, Ronaldo, on the other hand, counters with ultimate physical discipline, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, and the all-time record of 140 Champions League goals. Objectively speaking, this rivalry was a symbiotic force. Their continuous pursuit of greatness pushed both of them to sustain peak performance for well over a decade.
Section 4, Elite Mindset and Discipline, the method behind the madness.
So what does it actually take to stay at the absolute top? Well, we're talking about 5 to 6 hours of daily, grueling training, an extremely strict diet with absolutely no junk food whatsoever, and crucially, a strict policy of absolutely zero alcohol. This last point is actually deeply emotional and personal for Ronaldo. It's directly tied to the tragic death of his father from alcohol-related complications in 2005. So his discipline isn't just about athletic performance. It's a profound testament to honoring his family and maintaining total control over his life.
And this discipline extended to immense tactical intelligence as he aged. While most players start to decline in their 30s, Ronaldo adopted. Realizing that carrying too much muscle was putting dangerous pressure on his knees, he purposefully cut his muscle mass. He shifted his entire style of play from a wide running winger into a highly efficient, predatory central striker. He stopped trying to beat 3 men on the dribble and focused purely on finding high-value shooting positions inside the box. This exact physical reconditioning is why he maintained top fitness well past the age of 35. Section 5. Legacy Beyond the Pitch. Heart of a Champion. 55,000 pounds. In 2014, Ronaldo heard about a 10-month-old boy named Eric who was suffering from up to 30 severe epileptic seizures a day. The only cure was an extremely expensive brain surgery that the family simply couldn't afford. Ronaldo didn't just donate items for a charity auction, he stepped right in and personally paid over 55,000 pounds to cover the initial surgery, and he pledged to cover all follow-up treatments too. It's a really powerful reminder that he leverages his massive wealth and global platform to create tangible, positive impacts in people's lives.
Section 6. Ultimate Legacy and Motivation, the Final Masterclass.
You know, his move to Al Nassr in January 2023 definitely wasn't some quiet retirement tour. It completely revolutionized the economics of global football, triggering a massive influx of elite talent to the Saudi Pro League. Despite facing constant media pressure, intense scrutiny over his ego, and endless criticism over the years, he simply blocks out the noise. He secured back-to-back golden boots, setting new goal-scoring records in the process. And as we saw at the very beginning, he continues his endless, relentless hunt for that historic 1,000 career goal milestone. The hunger literally never dies. It all boils down to this core lesson. Talent is important, but hard work and discipline are even more powerful. Cristiano Ronaldo was undeniably born with gifts, sure, but it was the hours in the gym when nobody was watching, the incredibly strict diet, and the ability to bounce back from literal heart surgery and personal tragedy that truly made him a global icon. Grit and sacrifice will always outwork natural talent if that talent doesn't work hard.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought. Are you relying on just your talent, or are you putting in the daily discipline to become a legend in your own field? Take a page out of Ronaldo's book today. Start building that discipline. If you found this explainer inspiring and want to keep learning with us, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone who maybe needs a little motivation today. Keep pushing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next one.